How about now? How about now? Yes, no, maybe.
There, yes.
All right. Hoorah.
All right. Technical difficulties continue. Orange Crush, gotta love it, huh?
Yes. A little bit of orange juice. Good for the body, good for the soul.
So anyhow, like we were saying, I got Steelheart with me here, and I'm going to ask him to introduce himself to people that don't know him yet. I mean, a lot of us in Grievance know him. He's bounced through all the channels and said hi, but to the people who hasn't, the people out there in the real world, I don't believe it exists. Please tell us about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm Steelheart. I'm 5'10", not very much hair left. I like cats, walks. No, I'm Steelheart, progenitor of the Grievance organization, which, for those of you that don't know what that is, that's I guess what Kannon said, leader of the Grievance organization. I'm a fellow Grievance Global Gaming LLC member and current COG director for Grievance. And upcoming EverQuest Next Guild leader, apparently.
Do you have your Twitch active unmuted? Because they're saying that you have an echo.
An echo. Alright, let's see something here.
Yeah, my Twitch window has been muted. They haven't said anything yet. They probably haven't heard anything. Can you hear Steel? Was me. I literally have no speakers on or anything. But now there's no sound from you, sir.
I got one more thing I can try. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Alright, so we're playing with an echo tonight. Go ahead, sir.
We're playing with an echo. We like echoes. That's weird. So anyway, where does the term progenitor come from? Because it's not one I normally hear.
It actually came from Bear. They were trying to figure out what to call me. And boss wouldn't do it. That just sounded too much like mafia. Guild leader is a title we obviously give the guild leaders for the different divisions. And that wouldn't do. So Bear, who's a personal friend of mine, he says, how about progenitor or progenitor or however he pronounced it. I didn't know what that meant. But apparently it means the father of grievance, which is scary and flattering all at the same time.
So you're the all father then.
I guess so. Sorry. Sorry again for the echo, everybody.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be stuck with it. I have no speakers going on here at all, so I don't know where it's coming from, because they're saying it's on my end. That is strange. Try that. I don't know. So, can you tell us about the different divisions that there are in Grievance?
Well, Grievance, we're kind of anal with our organization to a point. And when I mean organization, I don't mean the organization as a group of people, but organization as in doing stuff. We have divisions, which would be like the progenitor or the embassy leader, the COG director, whatever. And then within them we have divisions which are guilds, like EverQuest Next, upcoming Elder Scrolls, upcoming WildStar, EverQuest 2, Guild Wars 2, both WoW guilds, both Star Wars guilds, although one of the WoW guilds is an embassy. So, I mean, you take the divisions, the guilds, so to speak, and they're broken into guilds, embassies, and clans. Guilds being certain divisions that meet qualifications to be called a guild. At least 2 groups online or more during prime time. Raiding has to have the Big 4 officer corps, which is the guild leader, the executive officer, the recruiting officer, and the raid leader. Then you have clans, which don't require so much structure, but we do divide them because some of them elect for a different registration process, some don't. They're not quite as organized as a full-fledged MMO guild needs to be. They have captains, which are the equivalent of guild leaders, but the way they're set up is really all they need is a captain for each game to run the game. That captain may have some lieutenants to run different teams, but for the most part, all they need is a captain. And our clans can go anywhere from 3 or 4 people to, like, I think we have about 30 in Battlefield 4 right now, and about 10 in World of Tanks. And then we have embassies. Embassies are guilds in games, not quote guilds, but groups of grievance members in games that just want to play with the tag, but don't really have enough people to really be considered a full-fledged guild. There may be 2 or 3 people that log on, play together, and they just want the convenience to have a grievance tag. So they're what we call embassies.
All right, so talk about embassies real quick. I mean, that's really not what I'm going to hit on tonight, but is it only current grievance members, or can they recruit from the game that they're in?
They can absolutely recruit from the game they're in.
Okay.
We get people signing up for Dragon's Prophet all the time. We have occasionally somebody signs up for Eve. New guilds or new games coming out are considered embassies till right before launch, and they can petition to be a guild. And there is a process that if they get big enough, we saw the WoW Horde Guild kind of get big enough to be a guild.
Yeah.
From an embassy, because they had a recruiting surge, they got some organization, now they're 40 people or something, raiding 2-3 times a week, so they're a full guild.
It's strange how that did happen too, because it went from nobody playing to all of a sudden everybody
like
started
overnight.
Like crazy. Yeah. How many members is Grievance currently up to?
We have almost 4,200 site members. Now those
Pretty
are site members. Anybody can go to www.grievancegaming.org and they can sign up on the site and participate in our community as long as they're polite, respectful, and constructive. If they're not, we'll kick them off the forums. It's no big deal. You want to act like a child, you're gonna be treated like a child. This isn't some other multi-gaming forums where you can just be a regular asshat and treat people like crap. We expect people on our forums to treat each other respectfully, and that's the type of people we have in the organization. Out of those almost 4,200 members, we probably have around 1,900, 2,000 active. And that includes people who jump on TeamSpeak, play in each of the games, and or surf the forums.
That's still a pretty impressive number. I mean, it seems like we're growing every day.
Every day.
Constantly getting the emails wanting to join Grievance, which we welcome you all.
Absolutely. If you're a good person, we want you.
Let's get to a little bit into COG. Can you explain to everybody what exactly COG is?
Somewhere about 3 years ago, we realized we needed a division, because COG is a division, and we needed a division within Grievance to really help with the recruiting part of Grievance, kind of an indoctrination thing. We were, yeah. Jump in!
Indoctrination, we're the Borg.
Yeah, pretty much. But we were in Rift, and we were experiencing an unbelievable amount of growth. We didn't expect the amount of growth we had in Rift. We'd been 150, 175 member, I guess you call it an organization, in about 2 or 3 games for the longest time. And Rift came out, and we launched for over 350 new people between 2 guilds, and it really kind of caught us off guard on just the interest in the type of organization we have. And we realized we needed some type of community group, just kind of an arm from Grievance out into the community, so we called it COG, Community Outreach Group. And originally, our first community outreach, our first COG director, Bellyfat, came up with an unbelievable recruiting message that we still use today. And it really hits the spot. I mean, it does. It's tired of guild shopping. And from a marketing standpoint, and I use the word marketing because that, nowadays I look at it and I'm like, oh God, that was marketing back then. Back then I thought it was just this cool title, tired of guild shopping. Well, yeah, that's perfect sense. That's why they're looking for a guild in the guild forums. Yep. And he really put his heart and soul into that recruiting message about basically, are you tired of guild shopping? Do you want to join a family-oriented organization that puts family and life first over gaming, but is still like a second family for you to always come home to, basically? And it really, really hit a good note in the community, and he really did a good job with that. Really did. Oops. Allow me to turn that off.
Sorry about that, guys.
That would be somebody that was telling me that I'm echoing.
Oh my.
So once again, sorry about the echo.
Whoop wants to know who sent you a text. I don't think he's going to call it out.
I'm not going to call it out. And shame on me for having my text open.
I think that's hilarious. I have to admit, that's what actually grabbed me, is when I was going through the Star Wars forums, and that's, you saw that, tired of guild shopping, and it was like, click, I'm like, oh, hey, this sounds like the organization for me, and now here I am, and haven't been kicked out yet.
No, you're kind of stuck with us.
So, wow, you already hit the when and the why COG was created, so you killed my second question. I was like, I had this beautiful...
That was that sound. Swing!
Yeah, there you go. So, we got a lot of people in the COG division, a lot of good people in it, and can you tell us what some of the positions are in this division?
Well, right now it's kind of separated into people who do different things. We have people who go through and they bump the recruiting post every now and then and put some new information out there. Like if we have a video pertaining to a game, then they'll put that into that particular recruitment post. For instance, the WildStar News. You go to any of our recruitment posts in any of the WildStar forums, and you see the WildStar newscast in there. And then if there's any interesting grievance news or whatever, they'll post that in there too, just to let people know a little more about the organization. We have people that do video cast, like yourself.
Hi.
and so we have casters that do video cast on different aspects of grievance, some gaming, some not gaming. We are leaning or steering more, focusing more in on the gaming. We've got a bunch of new casts planned for next year, and it's really exciting, but I'm not going to tell yet.
Spoilers.
and then we have what we call researchers, which are a few people who, if we have a special guest, and we've been very privileged to have multiple special guests on some of these casts, and if we have a special guest, then they go out and they find stuff out about these guests, and they provide that type of, well, cannon fodder, that type of material. So we'll have interesting questions to ask the guest.
So we have an idea of actually who we're talking to.
Well, most of the time, I didn't know Richie Procopio. I had heard the name, but I didn't know what he did. But Dash is a huge fan, which brings us to the next position, which is producer, and Dad, which does.
Dad.
Dash, yeah, which does producer does what I'm doing right now, but a lot better because he doesn't get echoes.
It happens. So, do you think that there's any shortfall that you have right now in COG that you're looking for members to maybe step into that you need help with?
Well, we got a bunch of video casts planned down the road, and I'll tell you a couple of them. We've got a Final Fantasy cast planned because it's turned out to be such a really a game of interest from a lot of people. So we have a Final Fantasy cast planned. We have a couple casters for that, but right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe 9 different casts we do during a 2-week period of time. Some are weekly, some are bi-weekly. So, I mean, if anybody ever wants, and Grievance ever wants to be on a cast, we'll put them on the news, we'll try them out, and if they work out okay, then who knows? They may have their own cast.
Yeah, let me just tell you how this works out, guys. You make a suggestion, hey, this is something we should do, and you get asked, when can you do that? Oh, me and my big mouth sometimes.
Yeah, good ideas are good ideas, but be ready to work.
That's right. I do like the news portion of it because you're bringing everything. Like I guess I should point out every Sunday you do a big cast for news. Tell us about that one. I'll let you talk about it. You know more about it than I do.
Well, the Grievance Newscast is our cast. It's all the other casts are for the gaming community. The news, the fan fanatics with Jennifer Carreras, the Out of the Box, all those casts are for the community. But the Grievance Newscast is for the Grievance community. It's for Grievance members. It's to talk about the different things that we're doing in the Grievance organization. Promotions, games we're going into, information from guild leaders, find out about exciting things that are going on in each of the games. It's for Grievance members. It's a good way to talk about the real life get together coming up in June. Excuse me.
There's a get together?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a get together. As you well know, once a year we meet somewhere. Last year we did it in a beach house in Pensacola, and this year we're going back to a beach house in Pensacola, and we're actually renting multiple beach houses. So it's where Grievance comes together, and you meet the people you play with, and if you're lucky, you get to see Liette have a few moonshine cherries, and
oh my! How many has she had? 5?
Five or 6. It really put her. I know we went through 4 bottles of tequila.
The best thing was when Whoop found out how many cherries she had. He just goes, "Oh no!"
It was great.
Yes, it was.
But it's good. It's good time. So I say 4 bottles of tequila. That's between like 40 or 50 people. So it wasn't that much to begin with. Well, yeah, a little. But.
This year I got my own room, so I'm going to stay there and I'm going to enjoy it. I can stumble back home.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. It's really good times. Great food. Bacon explosion.
Bacon explosion. There's going to be 4 of them, I guess, this year.
Yes.
So, the newscast. You said, do you go through all the promotions? Because I know you just recently had. How many people did you just recently promote in the Grievance organization?
About 300.
Yeah, you can't call out 300 names. Sadly,
sad. I don't know if they did or didn't. Have we done? No, we haven't done that one yet.
No, that's.
Yeah.
As much as we love to holler that out, that is a lot of names.
That's a lot of names. It's where we hit the 6-month mark. We actually signed up about 700 people for Neverwinter. So. We hit one of the marks in Neverwinter where we have a ton of 6-month promotions. So it was a lot of people.
And you have to go through each one.
Yes.
Promoting them. So a question just popped up on the Twitch chat here, which I think is actually a very relevant one to what we were talking about. Corewolf wants to know if you have any idea that we might do get-togethers more westerly or centralized for America.
Right now we have one get-together, and that's in Pensacola, Florida. We've talked about doing a West Coast one, but not on the books right now.
Unfortunately, we all seem to be more on one side of it, and we do have a lot of people spread out across country, obviously, but
we do, and if we find, and no promises, but eventually down the road, if we have somebody real high up in the organization on the West Coast, then maybe we'll kind of split it a little bit, but no promises.
I know we've had a request for a Canadian one.
Yes, we've had requests for Canadian ones, New York ones, Dallas ones, Tennessee ones. I mean, you name it, people request it. And I understand that. Everybody wants it closer to them, and I really understand that. I really do. Yeah. It's a convenience thing.
Yeah, I'm driving down from New York down to Florida, and that's a lot of driving right there, I'll tell you that.
Oh, we had Lo Lane and her husband drive from Canada 3 years ago.
Wow, good for her.
And we got Lord Scythe flying in from way up in Canada this year.
Which will be awesome.
That will be awesome. Meet Mr. Scythe.
Whoop says Grievance, an Alcoholic Anonymous sponsor.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to still stay on the get-together thing. The dream get-together. What is the dream get-together? You said it.
That's really hard to say because Every year they get really, really good. We tried a convention style get together, kind of a meeting
That
room
was
style in a couple years ago in Orlando. Yeah, I didn't even have fun at that one. And I have fun doing just about anything. But it just kind of took away the family atmosphere. So I guess the dream get together would be really maybe one day Grievance be able to purchase its own piece of property somewhere semi-centrally located. Sorry, West Coast, but semi-centrally located, and actually have our own facilities where we could have a get together on Grievance property. Um, Big, huge, giant smoker, big grill, 5, 6, 10 acres, whatever, pavilion, pool, big pool house or whatever to have it in. Hey, one can dream. It can happen.
it can happen. Maybe even an international one someday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which I do urge everybody, if you can, come down to Pensacola and join us, because it's a lot of fun. So
It's life changing. It's well worth the experience.
find the people you're talking to. So, what do you see happening in the future at COG? What do you see coming up? You said a bunch of video casts, which you're not going to talk about. But what else is there to do?
Well, I see COG still working with the recruiting officers of the guilds, hand in hand to keep on bringing more quality people into the Grievance organization. Because when it comes down to it, it's about the members. It's about having good people to play with. Similar likes and dislikes, and maybe not necessarily play styles, but attitudes. It really makes a difference versus, we have the average age of our organization is mid 30s plus. So it really makes a difference when you get in there with a bunch of adults and you talk about adult stuff, and by that I do not mean anything pornographic or anything like that. I mean just adult conversations, and people actually care about the other people that they're playing with. I mean beyond just a game. They care about them. Somebody hurts, we feel bad for them. We hurt. Somebody does well, gets a promotion, we're happy for them. Versus playing with the 12-year-old foul mouth, I want to talk like a sailor because everybody else does.
Not fun.
Not fun.
So, I had a good question. Don't you hate it when you have a question in your mind?
Saved!
It was a good one, too. That's the problem. Oh, I'm going to be thinking of this one. Well, we were talking about some, you mentioned recruiting posts. I mean, obviously, recruiting officers are doing a good job trying to keep up the posts all over the place, and COG members, too. Which recruiting officers are actually a member. Once you become a recruiting officer, you become a COG member, too, so...
Yep.
But I saw this one on our forum, on the Grievance forum, and I thought this is a good one that you should kind of put out there. Somebody was asking. Actually, a couple people had asked before. They're members in the service. And they get deployed overseas and everything like that. And they were concerned. They were concerned about what happens. I get deployed. You guys gonna forget about me type thing. So I was kind of hoping you could just give a shout out to them.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, Grievance 100% supports our military troops. Absolutely. Being an ex-sailor myself, I've obviously got a special place in my heart for anybody who has any military time or currently serving in the military. As far as Grievance is concerned, you're always family. Let us know why you're going, unless you can't. there might be some that can't let us know why they're going, but let us know why you're going. Say, hey, I'm deployed or whatever. Give us a heads up on it. Your status in Grievance doesn't change at all. We had a gentleman whose wife deployed overseas, and the only way they could really communicate was through TeamSpeak. So he asked if he could bring his family on TeamSpeak and talk to his wife overseas. So by all means, absolutely. If we can help in any way, absolutely. So I mean, if you're a member of Grievance and you want to talk to your family overseas, and you Skype isn't working for you or whatever, you get up with me. We'll just use TeamSpeak. Get in there, pull them in there, spend some time with them. I know how important it is to our military members to be able to spend any amount of time with their families that they can. And if we can help with that, just let me know.
Yeah, that is a very good thing to do for him. Thank you for doing that for him. So, actually, Grievance has a lot of ex-military, ex-service. Even we have a high proportion of fire department and police out there too, don't we?
Yeah, Grievance was believe it or not, founded by a bunch of emergency service personnel. Myself, Kukos, Rough Lifer, and Trass all still work for the City of Biloxi Fire Department. Kukos' wife, and then Thelonious, who is a 911 coordinator for a county in Florida. So 2/3 of the original founders of Grievance are actually still hooked up in emergency services. And my brother-in-law's a bomb disposal expert, so we'll kind of put that into emergency service. I wouldn't want his job. I'll run into burning buildings any day, but the stuff that goes boom boom, he can have. God bless him.
Wow, that's actually, I couldn't imagine doing that. I mean, that's got to get your heart pumping. Jeez.
Well, he does it for the military, so he sees them.
Oh, wow. God bless him. So, basically, we're coming close to the end here of our show. Is there anybody you want to give any shouts out to? Anything on? Thanks and love you.
Obviously, I want to give a shout out to Liette and Whoopin' Yo on really knuckling down and getting this overlay fixed.
Yeah, it was getting hectic there for a bit.
Well, I had it all set up on time, and I was like, crap. So kudos to y'all. No, I want to give a shout out to the organization. The organization is what's important in Grievance, the members, and I want to give a shout out to all the members that make Grievance what it is, because without the members and everybody in Grievance striving to treat each other nice and like family, we wouldn't be the organization we are. So kudos to all of our members.
I kind of just remembered what question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
The cast, where did all of a sudden it seemed like COG changed direction. We were heading down a path, and all of a sudden it did that. It's like, I'm into this.
Well, this was actually, we've had a couple of COG directors, and this was actually when Naonia was COG director. And you gotta understand, COG takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time out of your life to be a COG director, and it's a job. It's a 40, 50-hour week job to get stuff down without pay. So you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. And Naonia took it with Mr. Puddles at the time, and they started a Wildstone cast. And from that sprang up all these other casts, EverQuest Next, and everything else. We never envisioned COG doing videos, but everybody seems to really enjoy them and really like them. So why not? If that's what everybody enjoys.
That's true. Of course, I remember the first time I did this, I was nervous all get out. Still am kind of nervous once in a while.
You did fine.
But, well, thank you very much, sir. I think I've come to the end of my questions. Glad I remembered that last one. I want to ask him that too. So, thank you everybody for putting up the technical difficulties. Thank you, Steel, for joining me tonight.
Pleasure, sir.
We have what's coming up in an hour and 15, is it?
We have Raffle Stomp coming up, which is obviously yourself, Whoopin' Yo, and a special guest.
Tomorrow night we have the Star Citizen Report with Memo, right? Memo and Salmon?
Is it tomorrow night? No, I think, yeah, it may be. It's either tomorrow night or next week. They're a bi-weekly cast. Memo, is it tomorrow night?
I've been waiting to see it
no
pop up, and I haven't
Memo.
seen anything. No, next Saturday.
Next Saturday, that's what I thought. But we do have, for the gamer girls out there, the girls in Grievance that like to play games, we do have a Grievance Gamer Girl meeting in TeamSpeak at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Night Angel is getting all the gamer girls together. She's got some exciting new direction she wants to take the gamer girls. And I'm excited just listening to it, and I'm not going to steal her thunder, so I can't. So she's got some really exciting ideas, really ways that we're going to see this little pink skull all over the place. She's got some really cool ideas. So if you're one of our lady folk in grievance and you're wanting to game with some other girls, and even if you're not in grievance, you still welcome to game with the gamer girls. Just get in touch with Night Angel. Be in TeamSpeak 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, Central Standard Time.
Excellent. And then is the newscast this coming Sunday as well?
Newscast is this coming Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Monday we'll have our Out of the Box. Tuesday we're going to have Jennifer Carreras with Fan Fanatic. And then we will be shutting down until December 1st for the holidays.
Memo says that next Saturday he will have a cast.
Oh, well, if Memo wants to cast next Saturday, Memo can have a cast next Saturday. Absolutely.
The council president?
He is the council president. If he wants a cast, he can have a cast, by all means.
All right.
Anybody wants to do a cast, I won't stop them.
Well, as long as it's safe.
But Memo, I won't be there. Well, nice. I probably will.
But, all right. Well, thank you again, Steel. Thank you, everybody, and have a good evening from me. And Steel should say have a good evening.
Have a good evening. Thank you,
good
everyone.
Job.
Thank you, Kannon. Thank you very much for having me tonight.
Until next time, folks.